Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This is a game from the Grand Finals of the Airthings Masters, and this is a game we've all been waiting for, and this is a game between Magnus Carlsen versus Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru is in tough spot as it's round 4 and he's trailing by a full point. So he has to win in this game to force Armageddon, so let's see how he does it. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Hikaru starts with the ready opening. He goes for knight to f3, Magnus goes for d5, g3, g6, and we transpose into the king's Indian attack. Bishop to g2, bishop to g7, and we see castles. Magnus goes for e5, getting some nice central space, and Hikaru plays d3. Now challenging those central. Magnus goes for knight to c6, e4, and we see a queen trade early on. D captures, queen captures, and rook captures. Magnus goes for knight to f6, attacking the e4 pawn, and Hikaru defends for knight to c3. Magnus plays bishop to g4, bishop to e3. Magnus goes for the very calm a6. Hikaru plays h3, trying to push that bishop back, but Magnus just trades. Bishop captures, and Magnus expands on the king side. He goes for h5. Hikaru goes for bishop to g5. Now Hikaru is not covering the d4 square, so Magnus quickly jumps in with the knight. He goes for knight to d4. And now the bishop is under attack, so Hikaru defends with king to g2. Magnus goes for c6 in this position, and Hikaru defends the c2 pawn. He plays rook to c1. Magnus plays knight to d7. Hikaru moves the bishop back, bishop to e3, attacking the knight. And Magnus just goes for bishop to h6, attacking that bishop, and trades will actually only favor Magnus, as he would be very much satisfied with the draw, winning the Airthings Masters. But as there's nothing better, Hikaru just goes for it. Bishop captures, rook captures, and Hikaru remaneuvers the knight. He goes for knight to b1. Magnus just goes for king to e7, trying to get that rook into the game as well. And Hikaru goes for c3 in this position, trying to kick that knight back, but Magnus just trades. Knight captures, king captures, and Magnus goes for the very nice h4, trying to get that rook into the game, and you definitely don't want to capture that pawn, so Hikaru just pushes g4 in this position. Magnus goes for knight to c5, Hikaru goes knight to d2, both players trying to get their knights to the optimum square. Magnus plays knight to e6. Now this knight will be too strong if it ever lands on the f4 or the g5 square. Hikaru goes for knight to c4, attacking the e5 pawn, and Magnus defends with f6. The best move for Hikaru in this position is just to go for something like knight to b6, attacking that rook, and once the rook moves, we'll see a trade of rooks. Rook captures, king captures, and with something like rook to d1 check, king moves with the tempo, and knight to a8 check, king goes back, and knight to b6, and with something like rook to h7, the game goes on with both players having equal chances. But Hikaru doesn't go for it. Hikaru goes for instead knight to a5, and it might seem like a good move as it comes with the tempo with an attack on the b7 pawn, but Magnus just calmly plays rook to b8, defending that pawn, and where is the knight going to next? Now it's stranded on the a5 square, and that's why it's not a good move. But okay, Hikaru has to win this game, so he tries rook to d2, and Magnus just moves the rook back as it's a crucial move because Hikaru is going to double up on the d file, and Hikaru goes for rook to cd8, doubling up on the d file, and Magnus opposing those rooks on the d file goes for rook hd8, and now we see a trade. Rook captures, knight captures, and Hikaru pushes the very nice g5. F captures, and we see knight to c4, trying to get that knight into the game. Knight to f7, and Hikaru starts expanding on the queen side. He plays b4, Magnus goes for rook to c8, Hikaru plays king to e2, and Magnus goes for the very nice b5. Hikaru moves the knight back, knight to e3, and Magnus goes for a very nice thrust with a5. Hikaru just captures as there's nothing better. B captures, rook to a8, knight to c2, and rook captures on a8. Hikaru goes for knight to b4, defending the a2 pawn, and also going for this knight to c6 fork, which will be devastating for Magnus, and Magnus just calmly plays king to e6, and Hikaru grabs that pawn. Knight captures on c6, rook captures on a2, and Magnus moves king to f3, and now here you are in a position you know that black is better, but black only needs a draw to win the tournament. So pause the video and try to find the best move for Magnus in this position while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and this is the best move and the move that Magnus played. Magnus goes for the very nice g4 in this position, and Magnus was very much in his element. He was just down to 2 minutes on the clock, but yet he was playing these moves so effortlessly, and winning a game against Magnus when he's in his element is almost close to impossible. If you go for something like king captures in this position, black will simply happily capture the f2 pawn. So instead, Hikaru tries h captures, but this just leaves with Magnus a very nice fast h pawn, and this will be very much difficult for Hikaru to hold in this position. Magnus goes for rook to c2, attacking the c3 pawn. Hikaru goes for rook to d3, but also it was in this position that Hikaru offered a draw, and both players agreed to a draw. And with that, Magnus won the Airthings Masters, and a very spectacular victory for Magnus Carlsen. He has been playing phenomenal in this tournament, and let's see how he does it and for the tournaments as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another amazing game from the chess world, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you all.